Robert Williams, Esquire. 209 BBC Radio Devon. How are you at the moment? All right? All well? Splendid. Now, I've got two marvellous guests waiting for me in the studio in Exeter. There must be plenty of people who've had a nip and a tuck, but my next two guests are advocators of Botox, it says here. Joanna Berry is a corporate lawyer and Penny Avis is an accountant, and they've written their debut novel called Never Mind the Botox, but it's not about face-lifting injections. Better find out what it is about. Joanna? Penny?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Have either of you had the needle?
No, neither of us have, actually, but we've done an awful lot of research about people who have.
It's basically you're injecting poison into your face, isn't it? It's an extract of botulism, am I right in thinking?
I think that's right, yes, a tiny amount.
My face is as plump as it can be anyway, the best of times. Listen, first of all, it says here, it's written from their own experiences as a high-flying corporate lawyer and accountant, and is stuffed full of boardroom secrets. First of all, what's it about? Have you changed direction? Have you dropped being an accountant and a lawyer?
We have, temporarily at least. We are both on career breaks from our previous careers in the city. I was a corporate finance partner at Deloitte, and Joanna was a media lawyer, and we've written this book series about 4 professional women, and they are selling a cosmetic surgery business, and it's a 4-book series, and you see the central story from each of the women's perspectives. And the first book is Alex, who is the lawyer.
Okay. First of all, women in the boardroom. Much prejudice against them? Much, sexual prejudice, basically?
There is definitely still some, I think. I mean, if you look at the statistics, they all speak for themselves. There's not a point at which we're seeing equality of the number of women in the boardroom. But I think one of those things is that it takes an awfully long time for the recruitment, which is now pretty much 50-50 at every level, to work its way through to the top. In my personal experience, I've never come across the glass ceiling, so to speak, and I just think it's a matter of your own ambition driving you through, and the fact it's going to take a long time for the people recruiting now, who are coming in probably in an equal situation, to make their way to the top.
I have to ask why both of you have taken a career break.
Well,
anything to do with the city, I'm guessing. Yes. Goodbye.
No, neither of us were forced to take a career break. But I think both of us reached that point in our lives where we've both got young children. We've both sort of done pretty well in our careers. We both reached partner within our respective firms, and it was that stage where, okay, what else is there to do, and what else is out there? And Penny had sort of reached that point where she was thinking seriously about doing something else, and we had a discussion over Sunday lunch one day about writing a book, and it was Penny who initially came up with the suggestion, but funnily enough, I'd had a similar thought 10 years earlier when I had been working in London, when I was dealing with some fascinating, crazy, very interesting people, and not the sort of people that one expects or imagines you come across in a city boardroom. So it reignited a previous idea of mine, and we just went from there, really.
And now you were the media lawyer, were you?
I was a lawyer, yes.
Right, okay, and you're happily dealing with the media. There's an oxymoron for a start.
Absolutely, it's the other side of the fence, totally.
I mean, it is ridiculous. A friend of mine's actually going through it at the moment, talking about, what's it called, the commercial rights, not so much the story that he's written about, but the toys, the gifts, and all that sort of thing. And all that has to go through a lawyer these days. Otherwise, serious losses can be made.
I think that's right. But I also think that lawyers are not quite what they used to be, in the sense that, there's a perception that all lawyers are sort of courtroom people, that they wear wigs and it's all about sort of conflict. But actually these days they're very much commercial facilitators, and they help people, as you say, protect their rights and get the best deals that they possibly can.
Well, yeah, but that's something that's always gone through my mind. Why do we wear wigs still in court?
Because lawyers have got really bad hair.
These are expensive bits of kit as well. There can't be. There must be one person still making these ridiculous wigs for lawyers, solicitors, and judges.
There is, yes, a specialist wig maker.
I think the thing we found out with our book series as well is that our worlds, which is the sort of maybe the young professionals as you might see them, just really weren't represented in women's literature. I think because a lot of people who've come into writing have come from different backgrounds, and not perhaps many people come from our world to become authors, and therefore there weren't many books about young accountants or young lawyers, and the other two characters, which is in the Never Mind the Botox series, which is the cosmetic surgeon and the banker, and so we've had real fun sort of making these stories come to life, and hopefully showing the world that it can be really fun and entertaining to have a job that on principle sounds a bit dusty and boring.
Well, you say dusty and boring, but also the fact that we're now talking about a female head of the International Monetary Fund coming up. Do I mean the World Bank?
I think it's the IMF.
IMF.
It is the IMF, yeah. I mean, surely, this is perfect time for the books to come out because, is it right in saying there is an imbalance of male and female in the boardroom? Full stop.
I think there is, and I think the thing we are finding from when we're talking to people about the books is what they're really liking is that the women in these books aren't quite so hopeless as the protagonists you've seen in other women's fiction. If you take sort of Bridget Jones or Devil Wears Prada or Shopaholic, they're all brilliant books which have been hugely loved and hugely popular. But people are ready for a change, I think, to see some women who are actually quite good at their jobs, who are successful, who aren't necessarily the sort of junior person to the junior person who just gets shouted at all day. But at the same time, have got all those foibles and insecurities and relationship issues that make those characters so lovable. And I think it's that angle that of showing these women who are being successful that people are really enjoying in this current market, which is, I think there is an appetite to see what it's like in that kind of have it all arena which we're all sort of struggling with to try and make ourselves come through.
This collaboration between the two of you, obviously you've known each other in the past. This wasn't just you two coming together in a business plan.
No, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing because you've got everything. You've got the legal side, you've got the accountant side. This is a fantastic and, may I say, probably highly profitable exercise.
Well, we hope so.
But when the merchandising comes out as well, you'll be able to cover that on the media side.
We did actually find the skills we had. People thought they wouldn't be relevant to being authors, but actually they really were. I think the skills we'd learned from our previous careers have been hugely valuable to us in this process, and it's been really, really fun as well as being different to what we were doing before.
Well, book out in all good bookshops at the moment, or books out, plural?
The first book is out. It's been out for about 2 weeks now, and you can absolutely all good bookshops and also online at Amazon.
Oh, God bless Amazon.
Absolutely.
I think the title's been quite fun as well. So
Yeah.
we've had a lot of fun with it, never mind the Botox title.
But you're never tempted.
We'll never say never, I guess, but this process hasn't made either of us go rushing off to our doctors.
Do you know, just as whilst you were talking, I've typed in women company directors onto one of our search engines here, and it goes straight to a story about a man who was actually tried to avoid prosecution as a company director by dressing as a woman, so absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, well, it just shows what you can find if you look.
Ladies, thank you very much indeed for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on.
Cheers, bye-bye.
Bye.
Never mind the Botox. 2:16 BBC Radio Devon.